On the show today, we're talking Scott Bloomquist, his recent struggles, and what we could possibly expect from him in 2022. Let's go. Today is Wednesday, February 23rd, 2022. Welcome into Dirt Tracker Daily. I'm Justin Fiedler. When you do a show like mine in dirt racing, there are certain drivers you're going to get asked about periodically, and certain drivers that just seem to move the needle when you talk about them. One of those on the late model side is definitely Scott Bloomquist, and for good reason. He's a Hall of Famer, he's won everything, championships, the big races, and he's got a wild personality to top it all off. One of my own first interactions with Bloomer came at Dirt Car Nationals about 6 or 7 years ago. He won the night's feature, got out of the car, sprayed water on all of the photographers surrounding him, and then proceeded to bite the head on the Gator Trophy in Victory Lane. It was about par for the course for Black Sunshine, and if you know anything about him, you know to expect the unexpected. If you didn't watch the daily yesterday, we talked about how drivers have fared in big money late model races in recent seasons, and Bloomer wasn't even mentioned because he's basically been absent. But in the comments on the YouTube show later in the day, Jimmy posted that he thought the Zero could win some big cash this season. I'm not sure I really agree, but it got me thinking about all that's happened around the driver in recent years and what we could really expect from that team in 2022. Team Zero did not race at all during Speed Weeks, but we did see Bloomquist in Florida on vacation, riding rides at the Daytona Boardwalk, if you've seen that video, and then appearing at some racetracks. His 2021 season was cut way down as he continued to recover from various injuries and surgeries. But hearing him talk through various outlets, things are looking good for this season. He's dealt with several problems, some stemming from a motorcycle crash in 2019, and others just from years of wear and tear on his body. He's had ongoing hip problems, a 2021 procedure to repair his shoulder, and recently he's had carpal tunnel surgery on one arm, with carpal tunnel surgery coming on the other arm at some point in the future. All of this has led to only 9 Lucas appearances last season and another 16 outlaw races. For 2022, Bloomquist will not chase a championship with either of the big series, instead doing like some of his peers are and chasing the bigger money races. His website shows their season beginning on March 25th with the first weekend of super late model action at Bristol for the Bristol Dirt Nationals. From there, the schedule includes a lot of the XR shows, the Eldora Million, the Dream in the World, and then all of the big Lucas and Outlaw races in between. It's nearly 90 nights of racing, barring weather and other cancellations. It feels like a lot for the nearly 60-year-old driver coming off all of these health issues. Besides trying to get healthy, things haven't been easy behind the scenes with that race team either. SBR attempted to expand into a 2-car operation for the 2020 season, adding Chris Madden and sponsor Dryden to the mix, but that pairing ended just a few months later during the summer of 2020. Team boss Cody Summer pointed out issues around the pandemic and the team just being spread too thin trying to campaign 2 cars as the reasons for the split. Bloomquist then started the 2021 season as a full-time member of the World of Outlaws, but was off the tour come April because of those nagging injuries. Nick Hoffman ended up running several races through the rest of the season to keep that seat warm for Bloomquist and to help keep the team going. And then in September last year, Bloomquist and Summer parted ways after 3 years together as partners running the organization. Sounds like maybe the two didn't agree on the future for both Scott and the team. So clearly there's been plenty of turmoil around Bloomquist and that team in recent years, but hopefully with the driver getting healthier, things will start to turn around going forward. We know the Team Zero cars still have plenty of speed in them. Shannon Babb runs very well in those chassis, and we saw Nick Hoffman have success in that fill-in role for Bloomquist late in 2021, and included strong finishes inside the dome in December. Bloomquist himself, even with the injuries, still picked up 3 Outlaw top 5s in 2021. He had a 2nd at Volusia in January, a 4th at Cherokee in March, and a 3rd at Lernerville in June. He also had top 5s at Bristol in the XR shows in March. And then after he got back in the car towards the end of last season, he also had respectable finishes at the Dirt Track World Championship at Portsmouth with Lucas and World Finals with the Outlaws. But back to YouTube commenter Jimmy's thoughts that Bloomquist could win some big money races in 2022. I'm not so sure. He hasn't won a Lucas show since 2019, which was at Mansfield, and his last Outlaw win was at Thunder Mountain in Pennsylvania in 2020. It seems to me that it would be a very tall task and a big leap to think he could contend on the biggest stages in dirt late model racing right now, with just limited starts over the past year and a field of dirt late models and drivers right now that is incredibly deep. When you look at the numbers, there are some bright spots for Bloomquist, like his 2021 top 5 efficiency with the Outlaws. He was a perfect 3 for 3 in top 5 starts and top 5 finishes. But his average feature finish over those 16 starts was about 15th, and he was in B-mains in 7 of those 16 races. To take down some of the money in 2022, he's going to have to outrun the likes of Brandon Overton and Brandon Shepard and Jonathan Davenport and Devin Moran and Hudson O'Neal and Tim McCready and possibly Kyle Larson and many others. Is it possible? Sure, absolutely. Is it likely though? I just don't think so. I definitely believe we'll see flashes of old Bloomer at times with some lap sled and some top 5s along the way, but the schedule feels really ambitious for a guy that's been dealing with so many injuries. I know in the comments you guys are going to bring up Jimmy Owens and Earl Pearson Jr. and Dale McDowell as older guys who are still very fast, and I agree with you. They are still strong competitors and capable of winning any night out. With all that he's gone through, though, I think it might be a bit premature, though, to assume that Bloomquist can do right now what those guys are doing. Let's see him get some starts, get his sea legs under him again before we go full ham on him winning the Dream or at Bristol or elsewhere. Drop me a comment on YouTube or on social media. Let me know what your thoughts are on Bloomquist. I know a lot of you have been dirt racing fans for a really long time. So do you think he could return to his past form in any way? Or do you think there's just too much competition right now for him to really have a shot? Let me know what you think. If you're in the market for other dirt racing audio this week, Wing Nation has shows with Diane Schatz, Don Kreitz Jr., and Carson Macedo. Loud Pedal has team owner Dave Estep. Passing Points has Cody Cordell, and there are new episodes of the Dirt Reporters and the Dirt Nerds. To see the full list of shows and episodes, check out dirttracker.com/podcasts. And there are 2 shows on the streaming schedule today. Speed Sport has IMCA Racing from Boyd Raceway, and there's Flow Racing 24/7. To see the full daily streaming schedule with links to watch, visit dirttracker.com/watch tonight. I've been asked about another popular podcast that might be coming back soon. You'll have to stay tuned for that. But that's it for the show today. Hope you have a good Wednesday. If you have thoughts about the topics on today's show, please leave them in the comments below or tweet at me. You can also send me emails about any of your comments as well. info@dirttracker.com is open all the time. If you have show suggestions, you want to yell at me for something stupid I said, feel free to send me emails as well. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow for more Dirt Tracker Daily.